Yo, what's up everyone? How are you all are doing? I hope you are doing fine. Today I'm going to introduce you to a new project called Pocket Plan. And what the Pocket Plan project is that it gives you the control to easily track your income, expenses and bills all in one place. Basically, it is a budgeting app where you can input your monthly bills, subscriptions, miscellaneous, etc. And you can analyze and view your budget, or I should say pocket, in the dashboard page of our app. So the technologies that I will be using to build our Pocket Plan project is as follows. First, we are going to use the NextJS framework, which is built on top of ReactJS library. Then we are going to use NodeJS for server handling, and the project language will be in TypeScript. And we are going to use TailwindCSS for styling our website. Then we are going to use Recharts, which is a library that helps in building diagrams such as pie chart or bar chart. Then we are going to use Firebase technology in our Pocket Plan project for authentication and session management, and for database also. So the first step towards building our Pocket Plan project is to actually install the Node.js on your system if you haven't already. So if you go to nodejs.org, you can install the latest version of Node. I have already installed it in my system. And to verify if Node.js is installed on your system or not, we can run a command in our console. So let's run node dash dash version, and it will give the currently installed version of Node.js. If you see an error here instead of version, that node is not defined, something like that, it means you have to install the Node.js. So since I have already installed Node.js in my system, the next step to do is that actually going to the Next.js website, that is nextjs.org, and click on get started. So here Next.js will tell us how to initialize a React project and the Next.js project in our system. So here we can see the documentation, and here we have to go to the installation, and we have to verify that we are using the app router, not the file based system router, because the app router is now recommended by the Next.js automatically. So to create a project with Next.js, we need to run these commands. With we are using npm package manager, and the command we need to run is the npx create next app at the latest, and then the project name. So let's start by creating that. So let me go to my console. So the command is npx create next app. It will create next app at the rate latest, and then followed by the project name. We can call the project as pocket pocket dash plan. And since this is a Next.js project, I can just simply say Next.js for better organization of project. Then we need to press enter, and it will ask some questions to us. So first it is saying we need to install the create a next app package. Then we have to press Y and click enter. It will next ask some further questions. We need to customize our settings. Would you like to use TypeScript? We are going to use TypeScript in our project. Then we are going to yes lint. Then it is asking, would you like to use React compiler? We don't need that. Would you like to use Tailwind CSS? Actually we are going to use the Tailwind CSS. And next, would you like your code inside a source directory? No, we don't want that. Would you like to use the app router, which is recommended? Yes, we are going to use app router. Would you like to customize the import alias? No. Okay, so now it's going to install the dependencies and dev dependencies and create a project for us. So let's wait it to finish. Okay, the project has been created successfully. Next, we need to move to the project directory. So Pocket Plan Next.js, and we are now inside the project directory. And next we need to say code space dot, and this will open my Visual Studio Code. I will be using the Visual Studio Code for developing this project. Feel free to choose your own development editor. I am going to use the Visual Studio Code. Let's open it by pressing enter, and the project has been opened successfully. So let's look at our package.json file, which dependencies we are currently using. So firstly we have the Next version 16.0.8, then we have React 19 version and React DOM 19 also. Then we have the Tailwind CSS dev dependencies and types of React Node and React DOM. Then we have ESLint version 9 and Tailwind CSS version 4 that is specified here also. And we have TypeScript version 5. And we also have some scripts here defined for us, that is the dev script that will launch the next dev command. Then we have build command, start and lint also. Okay, so let's start our dev server of Pocket Plan by going to the console and typing npm run dev. This will start our development server, and if we go to the localhost 3000 route, that is it is saying, we can see the project website here. So if we go to localhost 3000, we have a get request here and we are seeing the page successfully. And also let's set up our git repository before working on our website. So if we go to our git bash and go to the project directory that we have created, so cd pocket plan NextJS, and here we have an initialized git repository created for us by NextJS project creation tool. So let's actually git log here. So git log one line to see the commits here. We have initial commit from create next app. And also let's rename our master branch to main branch, because that is what recommended by the GitHub, because we are going to push our repository to GitHub also. So let's git branch dash capital M and say main. So this will rename our branch to main. If you check git branch, we have a branch called main only. So let's go to our GitHub and create a new repository. So let's go to GitHub and click on new repository. We can name our repository as pocket plan next.js and add a description. Actually we can copy it from here. So let's copy it and paste it here. And what it is saying, Pocket Plan gives you the control to easily track expenses, income and bills all in one place. So this will be a private repository. I will make it public after finishing the project, don't worry. And you have the repository access on the GitHub also. So let's create GitHub repository here by clicking on it. Next we need to copy this URL and add a remote to our git repository. So let's git remote add origin, the name of remote and the link to GitHub repository. So let's press enter and it will add our remote. So let's confirm it. So git remote -b, and we have origin for fetch and origin for push. So let's run our git status here first to check if there are unsaved changes. So git status, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So there is nothing to commit here. So let's push the code to origin, git push origin main, and this will push our code to the GitHub. So let's refresh this page and we should see the project here. Okay, so we are seeing the project here, initial commit from create next app. Now let's work on defining our NextJS project. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code and open the default page, that is the home page. We don't need all of this, we can just say a simple text here. So let's clear all of this and see if this is home page, and we don't need that this import also. Let's save it and go to our layout file and let's move it down the CSS file. Then we don't need these, then we can delete this also because it is not important and we need to delete from here also. So let's delete it and everything is good. Now let's change our page title, so it will be pocket plan, and we can just copy paste the description from our OneNote app. Let's copy it and paste it here. All good. If I now say we should see the pocket plan title here, okay, we are seeing, and we also seeing the home page saying this is home page. And let's also clean up our globals.css file. We don't need all of this, we only need the TailwindCSS import. So let's clean all of this and press save, and we are good to go. So this was our Pocket Plan project introduction. The next thing we will be doing is adding a header and a footer to our website. So let's do that in the next video. And also let's commit the changes to our files also, because we need to create a track of our project. So git status, and it will list the modified files. So we have modified app globals and layout and the home page file. So let's git add all of them and git commit -m and say project cleanup. That is a fine commit message. I'm not very good with that, but it is fine. Let's commit these changes and git status one more time. Nothing to commit. Let's push the code to GitHub. So git push origin main, and everything should be fine. Let's check the GitHub here. If we refresh, we should see the two commits, and project cleanup is added also. So this was only the introduction to the project. Next we are going to build the header and footer of the website. So see you there.